Okay, we're
I use it on a Mac.
officially live. Yeah, I think so. Hold on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your time. Thank you for waiting. This is the latest episode of The Boys from Bossk. I'm your host, CJ Rock, and I'm joined by the amazing, the fantastic, the ever youthful, the man with the good hair, Big Dave. How are you? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience.
Wasn't that backwards?
It wasn't what backwards.
It came out again when you started speaking.
Oh no, that was because basically once you start recording on Facebook, on YouTube, it sort of plays it back. You got to remember to mute everything.
Well done.
That's all.
Well done for not muting it. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, welcome to the latest edition of The Boys from Bossk. I know you missed us. We've been gone for a week, but we're back again. We will be recording on Sundays on a regular basis. And welcome to the Sunday congregation. Amen.
Who do you think you are? Kanye West.
Amen. No, I've never treated
Kanye's
like that.
Kanye's in the building with my Sunday congregation.
Have I ever treated exes like that? No. Don't get me wrong. I've had some rough breakups, but nah. Did you hear about the fight between him and DL Hughley?
No.
Basically, they got into a slanging match on.
I don't watch media gossip.
Well, they got into a slanging match on Instagram, and DL Hughley, who's a well-known comedian, basically says that Kanye started dissing Hughley, and DL just went, "You must be the first black man to be. You must have been so bad to make a white girl go back to white men after black men. You remember, if you're black, you never go, yeah." And that was And Kanye got banned from Instagram as well, so that was quite funny.
Congratulations. a man with bipolar gets banned from Instagram. Oh.
Yeah, for bullying Pete David. He kept bullying little Pete, poor Pete. Because Pete's all up with
Kim but now. That's what social media is, isn't it? It's a place for bullying.
I don't care.
It breeds bullies.
Now, well, tell me about it. Every day my life's filled with bullies. But it's nice to have you back, Dave. How have you been?
Cosmic.
Okay, well, look, it's been a quiet week, right? Like last week was quiet, but we had the Adam Project last week and Turning Red.
Mm-hmm.
This week's even quieter. It's been so quiet, like Disney's been dropping like what would be massive bombs any other time, and nobody's cared. Like they've put all the Alien films on. It's now on Disney Plus. But everybody's been like,
That's just for people like us if you want a bit of nostalgia, isn't it?
Well, no, the first Alien film is a brilliant movie.
Yeah, but it's like the nostalgic movies. So you have to go, oh yeah, I remember this. Let's go put all this on and we'll do a little movie marathon. And that'll be your day.
But I think everybody's depressed because even the most interesting films haven't been exciting people. Well, I know you gave Nightmare Alley. Nightmare Alley is an Oscar nominee, all right? It's meant to be like...
Yeah, but like I said before, when it comes to these Oscar nominees, they nominate all the wrong films.
Sometimes, yes, yeah. Like Dune's getting the best. Dune's down for a best picture, and I'm like, really?
And you think of all these great films that have come out in the past 10 years and haven't even been nominated. You're like, how? And then you get pictures like Nightmare Alley that do.
Samuel's never won an Oscar.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, never won an Oscar. Neither's Will Smith. I'm surprised Willie hasn't. He's done a few Oscar movies.
Yeah, but I think he would have done, but then he pulled out that year, didn't he? saying it was too racist and everything else. So,
well, yeah, the Oscars have always been a bit racist
and biased when it comes to good movies. I don't think Tom Cruise has ever won an Oscar either.
But the Oscars has never been about populism, is it? It's always been about the art of filmmaking.
Yeah, so it's always
And unlike the boys from Bossk, where we celebrate movies for what they are. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our latest episode. Now,
yeah, they could be worth $1 million or 100 million. We will rate them.
We will rate them and enjoy them. Now, up first, like Disney's always dropping bombs these days, and like coke addicts, we run towards them and we're like, oh, give us some more, please. And a perfect example of that is Ms. Marvel, which is probably the most, I think, out of all the TV shows, probably the most obscure. She's the first Muslim character in the Marvel universe. She joins a few other heroes who have religious beliefs, like Daredevil, I believe, is Catholic. Spider-Man is of the religious kind as well. He's been known to pop into church, normally to drop off venom, but he's been known to pop into a church. But Tony Stark, I think, is an atheist. So she's quite an interesting character. She's the first character of Muslim descent. Her parents are from Pakistan. And she came around at that time when they were introducing lots of new characters, especially young characters at Marvel. And she at the moment, I don't believe she's got a comic book. Yeah, but Marvel she did prove popular on release. Ms. Marvel, but this Ms. Marvel, she had a comic book, but I think it got cancelled last year.
I remember reading the first book of it.
You've read it?
I read the first comic, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was on Amazon Books.
Oh, right, okay, I didn't know that.
And I heard it was coming out, so I thought I'd give it a quick flick through.
They've changed the character a bit for her release. In the trailer, it looks like, from what I heard, she's going to belong to a different group of characters in the MCU. In the comic book, she belongs to the Inhumans. But as Marvel says, we don't talk about the Inhumans. Marvel have forgotten. Did you ever watch any of the Inhumans?
I watched the whole season.
I went to the cinema.
There was bits of it I actually liked.
I was in the cinema watching the very first episode because I think the first 2 episodes were released in the cinema.
Yeah, and the main character reminded me of who's the bad guy in Superman? Not Zorg.
Zod.
It might be Zod. Yeah, it would have been Zod.
No,
yeah.
The main character was Anson Mount, who's going to now be Captain Pike in the new Star Trek series.
Really?
Yeah, Anson Mount has done a lot of shows, and I think this was Inhumans was meant to be his first big launch. And what makes it really terrifying is they actually had quite a good cast for the Inhumans show. They even had the guy from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the one with the sausage.
Yeah, the sausage eater.
Yeah,
and it was what was it? Anson Mount. Who else?
The big
Ivan Rion, who played Maximus. It was such a bad show, and it wasn't bad because of the cast. It was bad because of the budget was so low. It was like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. low, right?
That's the way I thought it was meant to be. Like
and you can't in Humans. If you watch Eternals had a massive budget. The Inhumans should have to have made it work. That's the type of budget should have been working from. But the budget was low. They had to neuter a lot of their characters. So do you remember Medusa? Medusa in the comic books is known for extremely long hair.
Which cut it all off straight away.
Yeah, just because they that's how low the budget was. It was like Surinder Swan, who played Medusa. They were like, you're going to be Medusa. She's got all this hair. She's able to knock people out, pick it up, and shit like that. But we're going to cut it off for the first episode.
Give me a skinhead. You got lovely hair. We're going to cut it all off.
It's all gone because you're that much of a threat. We just don't have it in the budget. But for some reason, Marvel put it in the cinema. That was when Ron Perlman, who used to own Marvel, had a lot of control, and he put it into the cinemas. But I think everybody on the proper MCU side knew it was going to flop, and it flopped hard. I think my $5.99 was the only money they made on the cinema release, and that was it. Because
it would have been because it came out on Channel 4 straight after.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, it's like like it with Encanto, we don't talk about Bruno, we don't talk about Inhumans. So, in terms of Ms. Marvel, they've dropped the Inhuman thing, and it looks like she's going to belong to a group called Clandestine, which was a bunch of Marvel UK characters that were created, and they're like genies. They're like magical spirits, and I think they're going to go down that route with her powers. But also, I think it makes more sense because the most well-known stretchy character is Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four, and he hasn't appeared yet. And I think they didn't want to undermine his appearance with having two stretchy people pop up in the Marvel universe. So they've made her that bit more unique. So that trailer dropped.
They're basically taking her powers away from the comic book and changed it to something else already.
Yeah. So it works better within
the only thing they've kept is her real name.
Her name and her background characters and her personality, I think, is going to come across a lot in this. The powers themselves, I don't think. I think, in terms of the comic book, I don't think they work that well.
Well, in the comic book, I thought she was Moroccan or something like that. She wasn't.
No, Pakistani. Yeah.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah, she is. I promise you. I'm Dave. I wouldn't lie to you. I'm not like.
She was from the Middle East.
Do we have to Google this?
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
Kamala Khan. You want to? You sure you want to do this?
Just do it. I suppose she was from somewhere else, not Pakistan.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Pakistan. Marvel's first Muslim character, born in Jersey. Khan is a teenage Pakistani American.
Okay.
It's okay.
Well done.
Look.
Well done. You got it right.
That's why I'm a nerd. All I need is some glasses, and I'm like, sorry. Anyway, right. So, you right, Dave?
Yeah.
I'm breaking.
I'm just rolling my eyes.
Okay. So she's going to be more genie than she's going to be Inhuman, and I think that's going to work for this. And the Inhuman thing they had to get rid of because it just didn't work. But it would have been great to see that on the screen, especially the way that happens in the comic book. That would have been really, really cool. But obviously they're going down a different route. It is probably less anticipated for than a lot of other. She's the first character I think that's been created in the past 10 years to appear for Marvel, because you've got all the rest have been older characters. Wanda's been around for about 50 years. Captain America about 60 years. Winter Soldier, you might be able to argue that was a new character. Moon Knight's been around for forever. So it's going to be interesting to see if she's got the pull. There's going to be a lot of guns out for her. Obviously, the trolls of the internet will aim their guns. But yeah, Dave, you saw the trailer. What did you think? Are you interested in Miss Marvel, or does it look? It looked a bit too kiddish for my taste, but are you going to give it a shot at least?
I'll give it a shot.
Mm.
It might not be up my street,
but
it might be. I've been wrong quite a lot lately when I've gone to watch things, and they've been pretty good.
But you still refuse to forgive Batman. Okay, so
Batman was terrible.
But yeah, so this is looking like,
and this is why we're losing viewers, because I rated it very low.
No, people love that, Dave. People love you the way you are.
Negative.
No, it's all about the Dave.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all about the Dave. So yeah, it's quite interesting. I think it'll be even more interesting to see where it goes in the long term. I, for one, I'm going to be watching it, and I'm going to give it a shot. I think it may be a bit too kiddish for me, but there's nothing wrong with good old-fashioned family entertainment. Nothing wrong with that at all.
We noticed this weekend yet again.
Huh?
As we noticed again this week.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, can Marvel pull it off? They've had quite a lucky streak. Is this the one that breaks them, or is it going to be Moon Knight? Which, again, it's Moon Knight's out in the next 7, 8, 9 days until Moon Knight makes it appearance as such. So we shall see. Right, moving on.
What I do hate about Disney is there's one thing I really hate is that they tease you with like 1 or 2 or 3 episodes, just like Apple do.
Yeah.
And then it's only on for another 5 weeks then. And you're like, oh. So they stick you in, and then you could hate it by then. At least within a week, you can go, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Like I do after watching something a day later.
Yeah, I kind of understand that. I think I'm surprised that Disney stretch out stuff a lot of the time, especially the way they do it. Like maybe put 2 episodes out per week instead of doing this sort of long and sort of drawn, especially with shows that aren't actually that great. But it'd be interesting to see if they keep doing that, especially as people start going back to work. One of the advantages of Netflix putting everything out one go is if you're busy, you can watch it all in one go or 2 goes or whatever, and then you don't have to spend each week having to make time for a show. And I
there is certain shows they don't put out in one hit.
Yeah, well, usually stuff they bought from other channels. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Now, in apparent hate crime, Karen Fukuhara was attacked in I think it was New York. Character from The Boys, but she's all right. Don't worry. People should have known better than to do that, but she is okay. It happened last week, I think, when she was out, not while she was filming. And she didn't even want to bring it up, but yeah, she was struck by someone. Now I don't know what's going on in America. Please leave her alone. She's very important to me. I wanted to finish run on The Boys. I'd like to see her do it, so she's happy. Leave me, Karen, alone. All right. That's all I'm asking, ladies and gents.
Who is she?
Just stop it. She's the
Homelander's ex-girlfriend.
No, she's getting this. What is it? She's a mute. She's the Asian girl.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably why I don't remember her, because she doesn't do much apart from when she does.
Tear people apart.
It blows everything up. Yeah.
Yeah, and kick the hell out of the what was that character's name? What was the Nazi?
I don't remember things like
Stormfront.
that.
Yeah, she's good stuff. I'm sorry, just leave her
remember,
alone.
I'm a normal human. I work and get drunk.
Dave, there's nothing normal about you. You stopped being normal a long time ago. What are you about?
That's a form of bullying, you know that, in the workplace.
You're not normal, Dave. Normal's for other mortals. Now, I don't know if this is exciting news or not, but again, that gravitational pull of Disney has managed to grasp Christopher Lloyd to make he will now be a character in Mandalorian season 3.
Scott.
Huh?
Great Scott.
Yeah. Great Scott. That's a Mandalorian. Yeah, there you
go. Yeah.
That's my best impression.
I wonder who's going to be then.
Well, whoever he is, it'll be nice to see him on the screen. The last time I saw him was in 10 Million Ways to Die in the West, which that cheeky scene they had. Do you remember that one?
No, he had a TV program not too long ago, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah, I swear he did. I can't remember what it is.
He was in the Addams. He did a stint in the Addams Family film.
But he was not Gomez, Uncle Fester, wasn't
he? Yeah. Uncle Fester Chart. Yeah, anyway, so
I don't know.
No, but that's got to be exciting, you say?
No, more exciting would be if they made another Back to the Future. Yeah,
they won't do it.
But they're releasing the new Lego set of the DeLorean.
Yeah. I'd really love to see another Back to the Future film. Maybe have Marty McFly's kids go back and repair all the damage he done, like stealing rock and roll from the black people. That'd be really good. And just flew over Dave's head. And
as soon as you do things like that, it goes over my head. I blank it out.
And then what else did he do? He made his family into successful people. I thought it would have always been better if he went back to the future and it was just the same. And then his mother remembers him being in her bed and her wanting to hump him, and it just their relationship's awkward from then on there on in.
Yeah. He didn't call her child Clint Eastwood.
No, she didn't. Now, Evil Dead fans, apparently you're gonna love Doctor Strange 2. Because obviously Sam Raimi, who directed Evil Dead 2, is now director of Doctor Strange 2. And there seems to be a zombie element to it. Like, people keep calling him they think it's the Doctor Doom.
So Zombie Strange is going to be in it.
Yeah, it's going to be Zombie Strange, and I think you're going to get a lot of zombie references. But I think that's all the better. A good zombie reference is all.
That means you'll have Zombie Captain America as well.
Well, they say that Chris Evans is coming back in one form or another.
Well, you had that What If episode when you had the zombie Avengers, didn't you?
Yeah. And well, you got the zombie. I think it's an animated show. It's going to be Marvel Zombies. That's coming this year. I think they said. Yeah, it was in their big announcements. So I think Marvel Zombies is definitely happening.
I don't take that notice of these things no more.
That's what I'm here for, Dave.
I know.
What would you do without me?
I used to. But then I see what people start announcing, and it's like, and then it doesn't come to like 10 to 5 years time.
So you don't like the disappointment? Fair enough.
Well, no, because by then it'd be cancelled or.
No, but Marvel Zombies is definitely happening.
Like some of the Star Wars programs they said they were going to make are no longer being made, and you think, like Knights of the Republic and stuff like that. You thought,
that was really, really disappointing. And I think they'll do it as a film eventually. I think they're just reevaluating.
Yeah, but I'll be dead by then. What? A long pause.
Why did Grim?
Because in 30 years' time, mate, I won't be here. I don't think.
Well, yeah, you will. How do you? Yeah, what are you planning on doing with yourself?
Well, I'll not live forever.
Like you're a rock and roll star. I ain't gonna be here.
The way I drink and the way I drink and eat, mate, my heart's gonna go.
I'm going out with some cocaine and some hookers. No,
that's everyone's dream.
No, Marvel Zombies will be out this year or next year, and I think you're almost certainly going to get some big Star Wars announcement come May the 4th. Be with you. But yeah, I think the big announcements will be happening then. But that's happening. Evil Dead apparently, it looks from the trailer that there's going to be at least Doctor Strange zombie in there. So it'll be exciting to see what happens next. Now, for those of you who love your PlayStations, I'm not a PlayStation man. Did you ever play God of War?
Yeah.
Did you like the God of War? Some people love it.
You know me, I'm not into those sort of games. So if it came free with the computer, then I would have sat down and played it. But
you never.
I wouldn't go out my way and pay 40 quid for a game. They just don't interest me. I like sport games and GTA and stuff like that. I'm not into those sort of games.
You probably won't be excited by the fact that Amazon is now developing a live-action God of War TV series.
Wow. No? Didn't they do that with Arcane? Wasn't Arcane?
Arcane was Netflix.
Okay. But that's part of God of War, isn't it?
No, completely different.
Was that the other game, the role-playing game?
Yeah, the Arcane is off the game called Lords of something, Lords of Magic. And apparently the game's not that good. The lore around
it wasn't Arcane. Amazing. What was that one you made me watch? Oh, that was Arcane.
Oh, Vox Machina.
No, Vox Machina was on Amazon.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into that. That was a bit too hectic for me. Some of these cartoons are just too mad. They're just like, I can't do it. Can't sit there and watch this.
Fair enough. But yeah, that's all coming to...
No wonder people have epilepsy, I tell you.
That's all coming to Amazon, I think, in the next couple of years, I presume. And it's another project that's coming to, ever since Sonic 2, studios seem to be willing to work on more computer-based products. Now, whether or not these transfer to the screen remains to be seen. As I keep saying this, most computer game plots are fucking shit. Excuse my French, they're appalling. They're not that good, not that worked out. Like, they just wouldn't work. They're not grounded.
Who actually listens to the plot of a computer game? That's the trouble. You just sit there and play it. You just want to pass the mission. You don't. When it comes to like the credits and the talking, the chit chat, you have a whole beat to skip, or you just get on your phone for 5 minutes.
True, but that's why everybody hated Assassin's Creed, because it wasn't like the computer game. But as I said to people, with the best of wills, there's no way somebody's jumping from the top of a cathedral or
yeah. But trouble is with Assassin's Creed, all that do is a story of the Knights Templar, and it would have been cool. And there's plenty of stories out there of the Knights Templar. Yeah, but it wasn't. It's not like something you'd watch on the History Channel and they give you that whole biography of the Knights Templar.
I just think at the end of the day, the plot at the end of the day didn't make much sense. And as always with these films, like Uncharted, I just don't want to talk about Uncharted again. Uncharted is a prime example of this. They take the plot from, it makes no sense. Like, criticize, and I did this with Indiana Jones. The opening in the Indiana Jones makes no sense, but the film overall is fantastic, right?
Which Indiana Jones?
Kind of makes sort of film.
When he puts the bag of sand on to get the gold statue.
Yeah, why would you put a death trap in a temple? Like, why would you do that?
So no one nicks the gold statue.
Yeah, but then why would you put gold? Why would you?
Because it was a sacred object.
No,
and it was hidden away for people like you or me that are just greedy.
Yeah, but who would do that to a sacred object? Have you ever heard of a sacred object?
No, because if you didn't know what was going on, if you knew what was going on with this sacred object, you knew which path to take and not get hit by the weapons.
Yeah, but let's say some wind, like that room, right? Let's say a strong wind came from
Well, when it comes to Uncharted, that was just totally ridiculous. Like having a nightclub tunnel. Sorry, you've built the bloody nightclub around this tunnel. What? Next to the lock. No one saw it.
Yeah, but
come on.
But then it had a death trap in there, and I was like, why is there a death trap here? And then why would these Spanish? Have you ever met Spaniards that can keep a secret?
Yeah, quite a few.
About gold bullion.
Tony Camano wouldn't be good at that.
Why would you? Yeah, but Tony wouldn't.
He would tell everyone where it is. You know what I found?
Why would any human being, right, in 18th century Spain, leave a treasure in the middle of nowhere that anybody could have found, and then create a secret based around finding the key? Let alone.
I'm not being funny. The keys were worth shitloads of cash. So yeah. I would have just sold the key.
It was just so silly, and that's I hope they transfer well. Halo's looking pretty good. Whether or not it holds out, the reviews have been pretty decent, middle of the groundy sort of thing. So hopefully, looking forward to it.
Is that going to be a TV show?
Yeah, the Halo's going to be Paramount Plus. I don't know; it'll probably appear on Sky. I would have thought before, because Paramount Plus isn't launching until mid of the year, and I doubt very much.
That's probably going to be like their Apple thing, isn't it? It's going to be their big signing on.
If the fans take to it, yes. Otherwise, it's just going to be another Inhumans.
But then it's just going to be one of those people who are going to do the 3-month free trial, watch that for 3 months, and then.
Well, no, but Paramount's got a lot of products. It's got Fast and Furious. It's got Stargate. It's now got Halo. It's got quite a lot of film products. I think Star Trek. It's got the whole Star Trek catalog.
It's all old stuff.
Well, like I said, Fast and Furious. I don't. The Paramount's got a lot more than you think it does.
I know Paramount's got shed loads of stuff.
Yeah,
like Top Gun and all that. But they're all nostalgic things, now, aren't they? They don't really. Like when you used to watch films in the 80s, you knew where it come from because it come around with the stars over the mountain and.
Oh, you're getting Paramount Plus on Sky, yeah. So you'll be all right.
Oh, I'll be all right. If I still got Sky with the prices they're going up with, bloody hell.
No, you're getting
that's nearly £200 a month now. So
you're gonna get Paramount. According to this, you're gonna get Paramount Plus in the summer UK with no extra crust to existing Sky.
No extra crust. No extra crust off the bread.
Cost to sign up
cost,
Sky TV.
Cost, you mean?
So yeah, you're going to be good. It's me that needs to figure out what to do.
But you'll have Now TV.
The long delay was Now TV, yeah, but I'm not going to keep it. I mean, Jesus Christ.
We'll wait and see what happens. It's a long way away.
Yeah. Do you know what, Dave? That's a very good point.
We don't even have HBO Max yet, so
I say I'm not going to keep it. There's something that makes me want to watch it. Like I cancelled my Apple quite easily. And you don't have to subscribe for 12 months.
Apple's been quite poor for the last few months.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to do is bring advertising versions of these services out. So, and I don't mind adverts too much. So I may get those with the adverts on them.
Probably with us, grew up with adverts, so it was only the BBC that didn't have adverts. But then when it comes to American TV shows with adverts, it's like every 10 minutes. So the show will start and then advert.
Check your cables for me again, buddy. You're starting to go. I don't know why, but
maybe because the plane's flying over my house.
Do you remember those days when you'd recognise the plane? Like now, you don't hear planes, but it's not because they're not there. It's
I hear them.
Learned to block them out.
I hear them.
Yeah.
6 o'clock every morning till 7:30. Non-stop.
Right. Apparently, one of the very few people to see Avatar 2, Zoe Saldana, was moved to tears after seeing sequel footage, which bodes well for a franchise that we at one point was the #1 film of all time.
I didn't rate it.
It's still in the top 5, I believe.
I didn't rate it, and I watched it in 3D.
Oh, I did. I was very.
Didn't we go? I think we watched it together in Wimbledon. Wimbledon Cinema. It was the first time I had IMAX.
Possibly. I enjoyed it. I thought the 3D effects were brilliant. The plot isn't much. But yeah, I didn't have any problems with it. I know a lot of people have hated it.
It just reminded me of Fern Gully. Sorry, it was like Fern Gully, the Lost Rainforest.
No, it was fine. I mean, look, you're not too far off there. So yeah, I think in the all-time charts, I think it's still near the top, if not at the top. And it almost made 3 billion. So at the time, I think. So I think, yeah, it's the sequel. It'll be interesting to see whether the sequel can keep going with that. And obviously, because it was 20th Century Fox, it's another cash cow for Disney.
Yeah.
It's another.
It was the first like live action CGI film, though, wasn't it? So it went live to CGI, where now that's dime a dozen now.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was the only film I've seen with 3D that done it well. It'll be interesting to see whether they can keep that going. And I, for one, am not like, I don't know, I'm not excited about it, but just to see if you can pull it off again, it'll be interesting. Especially
with the same director.
Yeah, especially the amount of time they've taken to make this thing.
Well, it's meant to be 5 years, wasn't it? And now it's been, what, 15 years?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see whether they pull it off. Now, just jumping into the all-time grosses, it's still, oh my God, it's Avatar is number 4 now, with a lifetime of gross of 760 million. That's in a domestic market. Worldwide, Avatar is still number 1. So Avatar's number 1 with a worldwide lifetime gross of 2.8 billion.
So Spider-Man's going to beat that as soon as it comes out.
No, I think Spider-Man will be a long way from
Spider-Man hit 2 billion. Just in the cinema.
No, Spider-Man hit one. Spider-Man at the moment is 1.8 billion. I don't think it.
So it hasn't been. It's only just been released on things. You in the theaters for that.
Yeah, but
got released this weekend.
I don't think they had that gross into that. But
you got to remember back then as well. People were buying DVDs. Yeah. Where now you're going to get people wait for a streaming service.
Yeah, but I don't know if they add that the DVD sales into that as well.
Well, it would be. That would be DVD sales after cinema sales.
Honestly, I'm not. I've got
because it wouldn't have made 3 billion on the cinema.
No, it did. I'm pretty sure it did. Because you got to remember.
I think that's overall. I think that's overall sales.
It was one of the very few films to be released.
Yeah, but back then the cinema was cheap as chips.
It was one of the first films to be released.
It cost you £5 to get into the cinema.
Oh yeah, look, I'll see if I can find out if that's gross with inflation.
I think that's with all time.
I'll find out if it's gross with inflation, but that at the moment it's number one, followed by Avengers Endgame, which is 2.7 billion.
Because if it had been with like inflated gross, then Jaws would be up there, and so would Star Wars.
Jaws. Well, do you know what the highest Star Wars film is?
Rise of the
Force
Skywalker.
Awakens.
Well,
No,
I suppose
Force
everyone was waiting
Awakens,
for ages for that.
2 billion. Titanic's number 3. And then I think if you're looking at Jaws, Joker, Aladdin, Alice, Revenge of the Sith.
I mean, when people were watching Jaws, it was like 70 pence to go into the cinema.
Hi, Mum. I don't know what that is. Fantastic Beasts, somewhere to find them. Oh my God, 2012 is actually number 96.
So Jaws ain't in the top 100. That kind of says it all, doesn't
Jaws is not in the top 100.
What about Harry Potter?
It's not in the top 200. Well, Harry Potter's all over it, mate. Like a bad case of thrush. Harry Potter's in there. It's not in the top 10, but the top 10 are all Disney products.
Yeah, but they're recent
Fox.
Disney projects, I bet.
Paramount is Jurassic Park. Is that Paramount?
I do believe so.
Because that's in the top 10, which it's Universal. Harry Potter, the highest Harry Potter film is definitely Hallows Part 2, and that's number 14.
That's the highest Harry Potter film.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the worst.
Yeah, but it was the last one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then The Last Jedi is 15.
That's all new prices and new ratings.
Yeah, Fast and Furious number 7 is the highest of the Fast and Furious films.
That wasn't big in the cinema, so that's overall.
Yeah, no. Fast and Furious 7 worldwide. It made 1.5
Fast and Furious 7. Did you say?
Billion? Yeah,
yeah.
1.5 billion in the domestic in the States. At home, it was 353 million. It made a hell of a lot of money internationally. That's all I'm saying there. But yeah, so I don't know why I got on that track. But yeah, sorry, it was Avatar 2. So yeah, Zoe Sandals moved to tears with Avatar 2. That's news that Avatar is close to being released. It should be released this Christmas, I believe. It's going to be the Christmas movie. And then the next one should be, I think, the year after. And I don't know how many sequels made. Avatar being the most successful 3D movie of all time. Definitely visually, I think it was spectacular when I watched it in the cinema. But the plot, like Dave says, is closer to Fern Gully. And it wasn't a great plot.
So that just proves how bad it is that I remember the film like that.
The bad bit for me is when they explain what they're looking for and they just called it ultimatum. Yeah. Or something really shit like that. It was like a really rubbish name for this thing, and it was like, oh wow, you guys really thought this plot out, didn't you? Hey,
we need an ultimatum. Yeah.
Right now, I don't know how you felt about Jared Leto, but Jared Leto won't rule out playing the DC's Joker again. Jared Leto, he's going to be.
Say his name again.
Why?
Because his name's Jared Leto.
I call him Jared.
It's Jared.
Well, Mr. Leto, he will be he hasn't ruled out playing Joker again. Were you a fan of his? I know he's going to be Morbius soon, but did you like his Joker? I liked his Joker.
I just think there just wasn't enough of him.
Yeah,
it was more evolved around Harley Quinn. So I don't think he was like supporting actor. He wasn't the main actor. Where
he got sidetracked pretty quickly. Well, apparently there's a special edition of the Suicide Squad where he plays more of a part.
So to me, I thought it was he as a character and an actor, very good. But when it actually came to his part, I think it was pretty poor. But then that whole film was pretty poor.
Yeah.
It
I
had its
don't know how I feel
moments.
about it. I think he's Morbius is actually going to be a big hit that people think it's going to be, but also I think that the Joker. I didn't have a problem with the Joker in the Suicide Squad. I just think the
I like the
DC
style of the Joker in the Suicide Squad. I
it was
do,
a
I
lot
really
more
did, and
gangster.
I think it needed to be put out as a main character because
No,
there were so many characters. It was just evolving around everyone else, wasn't it? So it was,
I think it could have been a lot better. I was very. I think the DC.
And then they released the Birds of Prey, and it was like, well, why didn't you release a Joker film instead?
They did, but not with him. They went off and made a whole new Joker film without him, and it was like
that was a bit bizarre. That film.
I know, but it's still that's still in like I think that was one of the first DCU films to hit $1 billion. I think it made ridiculous.
Because that went back to like they were two different styles of Joker. With, you know what I mean? Jared Leto's was more out there, rough and ready style, and then the other one was just a demented, just a psycho. And that was a really long. That was like Batman. That was a really long, boring film.
That was his laugh. It was a very strange laugh. But hopefully, I think the next Batman film's meant to be have the Joker in it or something like that. But we'll see.
He was in the Snyder Cut, though, wasn't he?
Yes, he was, but only in the future.
At the end, yeah.
Look, I just think the DC needs to restart again. No offense to Zack Snyder.
The trouble is, when they start again, it's just going to be the same stuff again. At least Marvel try and reinvent themselves with different characters. DC just go, oh, this didn't happen. Let's just erase it and start again.
No, DC's problem is they keep going.
They got it's like they got 5 characters in a comic book, and yet they got a whole range of comic books with thousands of characters.
Yeah, but that's why I think there's now 2 parts. I think Warner Brothers is in a little bit of a civil war because one of the things that Brian Michael Bendis done when he went to DC is he did what he did at Marvel, and he's introduced some younger characters. But I don't think DC's just too scared of not having Batman and Superman running around. Do you know what I mean? They're just too worried about what happens when they're not.
Yeah, but trouble is, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Well, not as much Wonder Woman. The Flash. They've all had TV shows and been reinvented so many times. Wonder Woman had one as well. Yeah, but that was in the 80s. So you didn't really see her again to 2000 or something. So
Wonder Woman. Sorry.
And then she played a different character in the Wonder Woman film. But yeah, you know what I mean? It's how many times can you see Superman? You know?
I don't know. Look,
every 5 years there's a new Superman program or a new Superman film.
Yeah. I hope they do.
And it all starts from that same story again and again and again and again and again.
No, it's true, but you know what, Dave? I'm not going to argue with you on this point. You're completely correct. I can't argue.
I think I'm just bored of it. It's same as Batman. It's like, oh, this Batman series finished. Let's just bring out another Batman. So the first film is always going to be the same as the other films. And then the second and third film are going to be better because they're part of different comic book stories.
We'll see. I hope they get some talent in there that is good enough with a narrative story, but visual style as well. And do you know what? I think Zack Snyder needs to find someone like, you know, the guys that directed the Avengers films. There's 2 of them, and they were brothers. Yeah, I think they need. That's what Zack Snyder needs. He needs someone who's
against him. Why he's directing it and say no, this ain't right.
He's as good as storytelling as he is with visuals. And then, because these films are now so big that I think if Endgame didn't have 2 directors, it would have possibly been not as good as it was. Do you know what I mean? It had 2 people who were able to work separately and together and work things out. And they also told a really good narrative story. And DC doesn't seem to have that. But we'll see. I mean, Warner Brothers has never been the type of studio that does the sort of thing that Marvel does.
What, film in daylight?
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, they're not into those big franchisey type movies all the time. You know, Harry Potter was, I think, the first. I can't remember all this big franchise. Harry Potter was a big franchise for him, and that sort of struggled for like at least 2 movies.
Warner Brothers had loads of franchises.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings was one of theirs, and again, outside Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, nobody seemed to like. I like The Hobbit, but nobody seemed to like The Hobbit.
No, I didn't really like Lord of the Rings, so I never even attempted The Hobbit.
All right. A Hobbit I found a much more enjoyable session than Lord of the Rings. But that's just me. Do you know what I mean? I think Warner Brothers has struggled with its franchises because the type of films they make and the type of studio they work best when they let a director go off and just do what the director wants to do. Tim Burton with the original Batman trilogy, the original Superman, maybe say trilogy, but the first 2 films.
Yeah, I'm looking at their franchises, and their franchises ain't very big. Like you said, you got the Friday the 13th. You got Godzilla.
Yeah.
The Hangovers. Harry Potter. Wonder Woman, Batman. The Lego movies.
That's what they need to get people in. They need to act like they're making big movies, and big movies need a big team on them. And I just think that's really what the problem is. They set themselves a deadline for release, and that seems to be all that matters in the end. And that way, yes, you can keep making Batman films, but is that all you want to do? Is that what you want to be? The studio that makes Batman films but treats the comic books themselves like they're just trash half the time. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm as much as I enjoyed the Batman, I'm over it. I don't need another Batman film. I don't need another one. I
don't think after watching that I needed that one.
And I've never said that about anything to do with Marvel, because I think Marvel know. Like, I don't think any Marvel films moving forward are going to be about.
Well, I think Marvel know when to stop and then re-energize with newer characters. And that's what
I don't think they'll be about one character. I think every single film is going to have multiple characters.
Yeah, I mean, they're deleting characters as they're going along. So Carol Danvers has probably got one more film in her, and then she's gone. Captain America's now gone. Tony Stark's now gone.
No, I think Captain Marvel's going to be the next 10. I think Captain Marvel's going to be a big part for a while.
No, because it'll change to a different Captain Marvel.
No, but that's what I mean. I don't think we'll do. I think they'll keep her, because the next film's going to have her, Miss Marvel. And
I think they'll get rid of Carol Danvers and it'll be a different Miss Marvel.
I like me Brie.
So that's what I reckon anyway.
Okay. But we'll see. But yeah,
they've got rid of Hulk now, haven't they? He's not going to be
no.
After She-Hulk, he's going to be gone. He's going to pass the reins on to her.
No,
I reckon.
I reckon they're going to do Planet Hulk.
No, I don't think they're going to do a Hulk
World
movie.
War Hulk. Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I don't think it'd be him though. It'd be all CGI.
Possibly, but they're definitely going to do some more Hulk. I think it's on the cards. And I've heard rumors it's going to be Planet Hulk, and then or World War Hulk.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be Ruffalo no more. I think that it'd be gone after She-Hulk.
I don't know. As long as they pay him, I'm sure it'll turn up. No,
but I reckon it'd be CGI, and they just put his face on it, and he'd just do voiceover.
Maybe, but hopefully not as badly as Sony did in No Way Home. I'm pretty sure a lot of the characters weren't even on set. Like, you see some of the conversations they had with some of the actors, they're like, "Oh right, I'm in a film. I did not know this.
I didn't have to that guy.
I didn't know I was in the film, but yeah. But we'll see. Right. So, other big news for you Star Trek fans out there.
They killed off Picard.
No, Picard's still going. Apparently, they've already filmed the 3rd season.
Well, there's only so much work he can do now. He's getting on a bit.
Well, yeah. Well, apparently they have filmed the 3rd season of Picard, and that's rolling along.
He's got to be in his early 80s now, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he is, but I think he's quite happy to carry on doing what he's doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but trouble is, if they carry on, they croak it.
Well, hopefully they won't kill the man. I can only wish, Dave. I don't have any connections.
This is a guy that no longer wanted to do the X-Men because he was getting on too old, and then he's doing all these seasons of Star Trek.
Well, Andy's returning as Professor X if the Doctor Strange trailer's going to
supposedly.
Yeah, if the Doctor Strange trailer's going to be by anything to go by. But
Yeah,
as
that
I've
might just be a
learned,
cameo, just like Wolverine and the other X-Men.
As I've learned with Marvel, I don't trust their trailers anymore. I stopped. Like Sony went out of their way to convince us that Spider-Man, the other Spider-Mans, weren't in the No Way Home, to the point of editing the scenes that were in the film, editing the actors out, and they were clearly in there.
Yeah, but everyone could see the actors in the background, so
yeah. So I'm not, look, it is.
But they haven't denied that he's not in it, so.
But anyway, sorry, I was saying. So Paul Wesley has been cast as Captain Kirk. I didn't know this new Star Trek series, New Worlds, is actually going to star Captain Kirk, a younger Captain Kirk, before he becomes Captain of the Enterprise. And it would be by
that'd be a bit like the movies, Into Darkness.
A bit less, I think, in the sense he'll be the
Lower Decks.
One would wish. Lower Decks is actually closer to what Roddenberry wanted in terms of Star Trek. He wanted a show with lots of sex in it. That was his original dream, because he was obsessed with the naughty. But so Lower Decks, in a way, is close to that. But before I get drowned in that, so yeah. Paul Wesley's been cast as Kirk, and actually, there's a nice little story about that. He was on a trip from, I think, the audition or wherever it was that he was coming from, and he actually ended up in a seat next to William Shatner.
Oh, bloke! William Shatner's put on a bit of weight. He must have got squashed next to him.
Leave the Shatner alone, all right? Don't
hope it was first class.
Don't body shame off Shatner. Don't do it. So yeah, he's going to be Captain Kirk, and he'll be portraying him in Strange New Worlds, and we'll see how it goes. So now that Chris Pines is returning as well to the Star Trek films, so it's going to be.
How many of those has been now? Only still 2.
Say again.
How many of them have there been? 2 or 3?
3. So the 4th one's now in production, and all the original cast are returning, apart from Anton Yeltsin or whatever it was who died.
Well, he's definitely got a return, is he?
This is not the place for those type of jokes, David. But yeah, he won't be making a return, but the rest of the cast will be.
Plus, he was a Russian, wasn't he? So they would be happy with that anyway.
I don't think that would have been a calculation in their part, but yeah, we don't need to go down that pigeonhole, that rabbit hole.
You can have that for your next show.
Right, and also I think Zack Snyder. Like I don't know what it is about these DC films, but when it comes to black actors, they don't seem to give them much love. Joss Whedon cut Cyborg's role down to such a minimum that when I saw the Zack Snyder's edition, I was like, what happened to this movie? He's actually the core of the film to a degree in the Zack Snyder one. But also the Green Lantern was meant to be another actor who was black, but we never got to see him either. And I'm just like, Warner Brothers need to sort their stuff out. I know they're doing a Black Superman soon, but I'm just like, it's another example of Warner Brothers just dropping a ball all the time with everything they do. And I just, again, this is my final appeal to you, DC. Please sort your shit out.
It's DC. I don't think DC is just under Warner Brothers, though, is it? That's the trouble.
It is. It's now because the whole.
I don't think Shazam and Black Adam all that are they?
Yeah. That's all DC as well.
Okay.
Like Big Dave said, sort your shit out, please. Just get your game together. Hire some proper stuff.
Put some color in your films.
Yeah. Don't be afraid.
Not just that, the actors, some daylight.
Yeah. Just film a scene during the daylight and see how much people love you for it. Yeah. But yeah, that happened. And yeah, so they would have had Jon Stewart in there, but clearly DC dropped the ball again. All of the Netflix shows are now on Disney Plus, but without the next Netflix insignia, which is quite strange.
You're talking about the Marvel shows, right?
Yeah, all the Marvel. Sorry, all the Marvel
You can't
shows.
say all the Netflix shows.
All the Netflix Marvel shows are now on Disney Plus.
But they've edited out all the words Netflix out there.
Yeah, which
shows.
is a bit harsh. Do you know what I mean?
No, I think that's right.
Ah, come on, it's a bit harsh, man. You know, Netflix did them a favor. Do you know what I mean? And then, you know, without Netflix,
I don't think they did. We all know what happened with the Defenders and the Iron Fist, right?
Yeah, but outside of that, it was a pretty good run. I know you don't like Jessica, but we love Jessica.
No, I liked the first season of Jessica Jones. I really did.
Jessica Jones was good.
The second season bored me, and the third season I watched half an episode.
Well, anyway, they're all on Disney Plus.
Luke Cage was rubbish second season. The only thing good was the Daredevil and Punisher.
The Punisher was all right.
But I like the Punisher because it was all action.
But they're all on Netflix. Apparently, they've already announced a soft reboot for Daredevil. He's going to make an appearance in She-Hulk, and I think possibly even Moon Knight, but do not quote me on this.
And probably the Doctor Strange.
No, I don't think it'll be in Doctor Strange, but you're going to see him.
Well, I know, it's in Spider-Man.
Because I think Doctor Strange is going to have enough people in it, but there's no need for...
Yeah, but it's in New York, isn't it? So...
Or is it? Ah!
Yeah, no, because it will be, because that's where the house is.
No.
You see the Cuban girl in the house, so...
I'm 100% confident that Matt Murdock will not be in Doctor Strange.
Not even as a lawyer.
Not even as a lawyer. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
Another drama coming out is, I think it's going to be an HBO, Pleasure, which is about the porn industry in California. And it's meant to be, I think, one of the most shocking films of 2022. Now, when people say that, I tend not to believe them.
It can be so shocking, you might as well just watch a porno. Is that what they're saying?
Like I saw somebody going that saying that Basic Instinct was when reminded them of when Hollywood took risks. I was like, took Basic Instinct.
Everyone was saying that. What about when Tommy Lee's penis started speaking to him in Pammy and Tommy? Eh? And that was only a couple of weeks ago. So
I just don't get me wrong.
50 Shades of Grey.
I know the porn industry is a bit shocking, but I just don't see it being the most shocking.
So basically, it's the last time they showed a minge.
Yeah.
Open.
Yeah. But I don't know if this is going to be that. But it seems to be a story of a young woman who comes from Europe to all she wants to be is in the porn industry, and it shows.
And what part of Eastern Europe does she come from?
I think, if my memory is right, she's Swedish.
Oh.
But we'll see. I'm not putting money on that. Now, another thing coming up. We've only got 5 minutes left, but that's okay.
Well, that would only take 5 minutes.
Yeah. Right. I'll just do this quickly. Netflix is developing Irredeemable and Incorruptible. They're two separate comic books, but they were connected. Irredeemable was about a character who was a villain and his ultimate redemption to try and be a good guy. And Incorruptible was about a superhero who one day just turns and does what a Homelander would only wish he could do. It's written by Mark Waid, who so far I think has been more miss than a hit with Netflix. If you remember, he was responsible for Jupiter's Legacy. I think that was him, Mark Waid. Was it Mark Waid? It might not be. But anyway, we'll see what happens. That should be coming in. They're coming in as live action movies, and we'll have those next year. The only other thing I wanted to mention that in terms of stuff to watch, Star Trek Discovery, I'll say it once and I'll say it again, is the best Star Trek show ever. It has probably had the most fan hate of all the Star Trek shows in the age of the internet, but they say the same things about Discovery that they used to say about Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, but you also said The Expanse is the best TV show ever, so...
I said it's the best sci-fi. I'm saying Star Trek is the best Star Trek show. Star Trek Discovery is the best Star Trek
it's better than one that was on Netflix.
It's the same one that was on Netflix, but it got moved off of Netflix.
Okay. I'm thinking of Picard. Sorry.
Okay. It's finally come to its final episode, which broadcast last week. If you can catch it, please do so. It is on Pluto TV if you wish. Otherwise, do like me and I bought the entire season. And
Pluto TV.
Love every.
What the
minute
hell is
of it.
Pluto TV?
It's like it's got advertising on it. It's free to air.
So it was so good, the best Star Trek ever.
For me.
It's on a channel that's no one watches.
Well, I don't watch it. I bought this season, so I watch it on Amazon. And Star Trek Picard broadcast its 3rd episode. Again, worth a watch if you like your Star Trek and if you miss Picard. But for me, after waiting 20 years for a Worf show to end up with another episode of old Picard, not so exciting, but we'll see. And my only other recommendation for you would be if you're a family and you like family entertainment, Cheaper by the Dozen is perfectly okay. It's a workable show, film.
Wasn't too bad.
It's all right.
That Braff, Gabrielle Union.
It was all right. I thought it was all right.
I think it's because it didn't have the main man.
Honeybear.
No, Tom Welling.
Why would Tom Welling be in it?
Because he was in the Steve Martin ones.
Was he?
Yeah, he was one of the sons.
Oh wow! Well, that would having somebody pop up from the originals would have been good. In this,
Well, I thought that's who the wife was. I thought that was what's her name? Hilary? Is it Hilary Duff? That was in the originals. I thought that was her, but it wasn't.
All right. It just didn't work for me. It was all right. It was entertaining, but the plot wasn't that strong. And I think if I remember the original Cheaper by the Dozen, it was quite a funny film. It had lots of little funny moments. Whereas this,
it was like the Brady Bunch, the original film, wasn't it? Where this one's a load of. She had 2 kids. I had 2 kids. Then we adopted a kid, and then we done this, and then we had our own 2 kids. And we had our nephew move in. It's like, okay, it's a bit too much.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was all about him being greedy. He wanted to make a sauce.
Yeah, but that's what I meant. It was like at one point you're watching it, and all of a sudden they've got the sauce and they're super rich. And I'm like, what? Hold on a second. How do we go from there to here? And
literally brought a house like that. Boom.
Yeah, and it just that's more my problem with it. And also it plays lip service to like the problems that a blended family would have. Like the whole thing at the pool. I was like, if you're gonna do that, do it properly.
Yeah.
Don't play lip service, do it properly. And then you'd have a better story. But
is that when the rich white woman thought she was the nanny?
Yeah, I was like, if you're gonna do it properly, do it properly. Your audience aren't gonna run away from you if you take an issue.
Oh, there's no black women in Calabasas.
Yeah. Well, probably not. No, in Americans.
Yeah, there is. That's where the Kardashians are.
Yeah, they're not.
No, but they've all got children, haven't they? So.
Yeah, I guess so, but yeah, I'm just like it's worth a watch, but it wasn't that good. I wish I had time to do a more fuller review, but yeah, it stars Zach Braff.
That is the review. That's it, done. We're never going to put that on our Top Gear chart.
No, it doesn't go on there. I think that I'm not saying it was bad. It's just there's no point.
It's a family film that you watch.
It's very much a TV. Very much a TV movie.
If you got kids, it'd be on the background when you're watching it.
Yeah. It's very much a TV movie. Okay. Right. So yeah, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the latest sexy edition of the Boys from Bossk. We'll be back next week for some more. Again,
hopefully a film and real stories.
Yeah, or maybe we'll take a break. If there's nothing going on for the next couple of weeks until Moon Night.
Well, Moon Night's next week, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe we'll do a quiz night. I know I keep threatening to do the quiz night, but maybe we will do the quiz night.
We need friends if you want to do that.
So
we need friends if we're going to do that.
I'll gather people. They'll play board games with us online. It's easy. Yeah. But we'll make that happen. All right, ladies and gents, thank you very much. Big Dave.
That's me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.